got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Houston Texans. And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. Now, this is going to be returned from the back line of the end zone. And not a good return here at all, as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. And right off the bat, Mills looking to throw it. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. 3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys? And he fires one that's intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Boy, Charles, a lot of action right out of the gate. The two teams barely off the buses. We've already had the touchdown and now the interception.
Yeah, whatever happened to the feeling out process? You know, kind of throw a few jabs out there, kind of circle the ring a little bit. Both of them throwing haymakers right out of the gate. And the second one was an interception that may cost them.
The tackle by Matthew Ioannidis. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Hurts. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Texans are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the...
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Jadeveon Clowney. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. After the sack on 1st down, Mills. And Mills is intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
Look at my team!
Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in third in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
And this will be swung out here for counter. And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with second and a couple.
Let's go. Hot 70, hot 70.
Here's Hurts to throw. He will find Smith in the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles go up by 2 touchdowns. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. From deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
For most people, the excitement of the kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Right back to Swift again on second down. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 3rd down, here's Mills. In trouble, and he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
Yeah, and you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over.
Let's go now. Trap 50, trap 50.
Play action. Here's Hurts. That one complete down the field to Smith. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. He'll let this go deep for Bourne. And Mills is intercepted for the 3rd time. Buda Baker with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Charles, I don't know what's going on in that defensive team meeting room, but they better keep it rolling. 3 picks last week, 2 here now in the first quarter.
Everyone talks about creating turnovers and getting takeaways, but until it gets put into action, it's just talk. And right now, it's in action and in a big way. Now they've got the receivers wondering if they have to turn around and play more defense instead of running routes trying to take the ball downfield.
They go play action with Hurts. Eluding the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play, and he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Forced out to his left. And he'll complete this one to Berrios. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Getting this quickly to Berrios. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and that will bring up 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go.
2nd and 10. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. Open man, he's got him. That's Smith for the Philadelphia touchdown. Devontae Smith with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles take a 3-touchdown lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 21-0. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Mills. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Swift. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Play action now, Mills. This one to Bourne, and he's got it. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 33.
That's another Houston Texans.
A first down throw for Mills. That's complete to Swift out of the backfield. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
I know it was a gain but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling, held it to an okay gain.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mills. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other, because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, he's touchdown.
Brandon Cooks, 29 yards. And the Texans are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. That seemed like a much-needed touchdown after 21 unanswered points to start the game.
It's not often that you equate a football game to a golf tournament, but it's like you don't want to shoot yourself out of the tournament too early. So they needed that touchdown to make sure that they got an opportunity to not just get back into this game, but a chance to win it later if they continue to play well.
Extra point splits the uprights, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Looking here for Smith downfield. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. They go play action. Mills. And Cooks hands it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And the slot man goes in motion left. The slot man in motion right. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Play fake, Mills. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On play action, Mills. Crossing route complete. Catch made by Cooks. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Second down and 3. Swift going to try up the middle.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle. That's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. Now Mills. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown.
Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded just outside the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. To throw again on second down. Mills.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Here's Mills. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it. I think about it awfully hard. But also, You might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Hurts dancing to his left. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Final play of the half, Mills. Mills hit, and he loses the ball. And the Eagles have recovered. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Hurts a handoff to Sanders, and nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain, and of course he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Hurts. And his throw here's incomplete.
Barton, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Hurts. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, 36 yards, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point right down the middle, and that'll increase their lead to 28. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
Off the play fake, Mills.
And my goodness, another interception.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Flush to his right.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit if they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hurts going to keep it again.
He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a third down. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is third down.
Here's Hurts to throw.
Steps away to his left. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
One play has them to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
Now Mills on the bootleg.
He's letting this one go for Fuller. And this one is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
2nd and 10. Thanks for tagging along with us here from Houston, Texas. Mills hit, and he loses the ball. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust?
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take a blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
Mustang 19. Panther 11. Panther 11.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
Devontae Smith with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Mills can't get away, and down he goes.
A 3-yard loss on the play.
Now Mills on 4th down.
And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Eagles are going to take over in great field position.
And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback?
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
Going to throw right side here, complete. Touchdown, Eagles.
Devontae Smith.
A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Eagles get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try to pick themselves back up.
He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Working out of the gun, Mills. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
Fourth down, Mills. That's to his running back, complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Cooks will come in motion right. Mills again. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Here we go.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another. Back now in Houston. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Texans on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 11. Looking to throw is Mills. He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a contour, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
Mills on first down. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there. 29 yards. And the Texans get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. The extra point splits the uprights as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
It certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Derek Stingley picks it. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance. He's helping his team in a huge way.
On 1st and 10, Mills. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On 2nd down, Mills again.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it. So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And now here's another interception.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
20, 10, 5, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
The score, Eagles 59, Texans 14.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away.
Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
To throw on 2nd and 10.
Mills.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Hassan Reddick make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Let's go.
A couple of 1st downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10.
A 1st down throw for Mills. This ball caught by Mechie. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick-6 just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
Play action now. Mills.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Throwing again on 2nd down.
Mills.
This is caught. It's Cooks. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 27-yard line.
Let's go now.
Again, it's Mills.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
On 2nd and inches, Mills. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
First down, Mills. And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Mills now. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point. But
it's caught inside the 25. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. A big play there for Philly. 54 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. That one looks like he'll throw here. And this is going to be intercepted. Garrett Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw for both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Eagles, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Texans, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3 and 3. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville.
I just scraped it off the top, cut it off the road, off the curve, off the block. I was already sold out of work by 10 o'clock. Just leave the streets, felt that baby, the mental lock. When that rush comes, look what I gotta do. I'm moving with a 2, I paid it out the yeah, tell me what I gotta do.
Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many, give it Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many, give it Sunday magic. Round of applause and you go, that's it. Damn, that's a bomb with a flick on my wrist. Jersey on my chest, that's a team that I rep. Came in as a rookie, now I'm balling like a vet. Talking crazy, better say it with your chest. Hit him with the right, then I hit him with the left. Then the juke move. Heisman stiff arm, lights out, you snooze. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many, give it Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. This is not a game, this is not a game. Banging on your chip when I come through the paint. Never been about the money or the fame. But when it bring both, so here we go again. Wins on the road, yeah, I got those. Couple records that I hold, yeah, I got those. It's the playoffs, the team just got home. We ain't going outside when it matter most. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic.